And welcome to Pharaoh's Chamber. I'm your host, Shaman Ra. Today I'm here with author, poet, educator, Erica L. Kennard.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, I'm glad to be here, Shaman Ra.
Go ahead and tell us the titles of your book.
Yes, today I brought with me Sacred Thoughts, and this is one of my first collections I put together. And the second collection is Knotted Knowledge, and that's what I'll be talking to you about today.
All right. Well, let's get right to it. What makes your poetry different from other poets or other poetry?
Well, so far from all my readers and followings in the poetry industry, they've been telling me that my poetry is reactive. After they read it, it makes them want to become proactive or react to some of the words that's in my books.
Okay. Well, how does your poetry connect to the readers?
Well, most of my poetry is experience-based. Some of it is experiences that I observed. Some of it is from my own past. But just when people are reading it, they can connect because they probably experienced some of the same things. And in one of my books specifically, in Sacred Thoughts, this particular collection touch on different type of topics, and there's one section in there called Untouched Topics, and these are some topics that people normally won't discuss or try to keep it hidden or something, but I brought it to the forefront through poetry in a spiritual with a hint of humor way to help people to release some of those things they've gone through.
Untouched.
Mm-hmm. Untouched topics.
Okay.
You have to check out Sacred Thoughts.
Let's check it out. Well,
Yes.
What makes your poems powerful?
What makes my poems powerful because of my experience. As an educator, this is my 18th year in the industry of education, and has been a librarian. I've been around a lot of literature and have been an avid reader myself. It have equipped me with a very good knowledge on a lot of different topics. So when I put my experiences with that knowledge, it's a profound product. So when the book for Knotted Knowledge is really for librarians, teachers, educators, principals, and reluctant readers. These particular collection right here, this one, it motivates kids to learn through chants, songs, different type of rhythmic stanzas inside of this particular book, and it's been proven. I've utilized this in the Title I schools. I've used it with children from low socioeconomic areas, and they've also had progress on the standardized tests after me utilizing these poems to motivate them to remember, reading concepts or reading information, stuff like that. So I wanted to share this with all the other educators and librarians out there so I didn't have to struggle, and our kids don't have to struggle either.
Okay. You mentioned being a librarian, and one of your poems is, some of your poems are dedicated to reluctant readers.
Yes.
Why do you think most people are reluctant readers?
Due to experiences in the classroom, maybe because they're shy, or maybe because they never had a person that really recognized that they had a phonics problem with reading, and no one ever just took the time to pull the child over and started at the basics to teach them. My poetry, it captured every child at every level, the higher level child, the lower level child, and it'll get their attention, and they can find themselves in my poetry wherever they are, and it elevates them to the next level.
Okay. Do you find a particular race to be more reluctant readers than?
I think from my working in Title I schools, African American children, Latino children, because of minority-based issues and different obstacles in their lives, sometimes they don't have as much exposure to different literature or experiences with different genres, at an early age. So the poetry collection that I put together kind of closed the gap for them. It kind of gives them an overview of different things and different topics of things that they should know, literally wise, like the Dewey Decimal System, how to go find nonfiction texts and stuff like that. But in Not in Knowledge, it has different poems that are rhythmic, and most minority people are rhythmic people, so we can capture in on their learning style. So that's why poetry is so effective for minority children, not just minority children, but children all above. But the reluctant reader, they don't feel as apprehensive because it's almost like singing a song, and everyone can sing a song and not feel like what level you're on where you're singing it.
Right,
Yes.
right. Okay. What about, well, I noticed that Not in Knowledge also is in Spanish.
Oh, yes. Soy Erika Kennard. Soy una maestra bilingüe and a bilingüe bibliotecaria. I am a bilingual librarian and bilingual educator in the Dallas Independent School District for about approximately, I taught bilingual classes for 8 years, and I've been a bilingual librarian for 4 years. So yo hablo español todos los días. En esta es una colección de mismos poemas en español. Esta colección motivar de niños a aprender diferentes conceptos de lectura más rápido. So this particular collection is not only for the reluctant reader, but the second language learner also. It helps them to connect to the genres and help them feel a part. And me being a second language learner myself, I understand how it takes time to comprehend new concepts. But through poetry, a través de poesía, it ayuda a niños to hacer conexión más rápido. It helps them to make the connection more rapidly. So my collection is even from the novice second language learner all the way up to the advanced. And also for the monolingual that speaks English, you can teach them how to learn Spanish as they're reading the English poems side by side.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back after these short messages.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to Pharaoh's Chamber. I'm your host, Shaman Ra. We're here with Erica L. Kennard, author, poet, librarian,
Educator.
and educator. Okay. Next question. Why do you write?
Actually, at first, I never was really a writer. It's almost like the Lord would wake me up at night and put ideas in my head, and I would jot them down on an envelope, paper, whatever. And then over time, later on, I think about it, and I would just start writing up on that topic. But now, after those many, many nights of dreams waking up, I write to inspire other people, to share their stories and their experiences. Again, as been an educator and a librarian in the field of literature, there's not a lot of stories from different aspects of point of view. I've read a lot of poets before in the past from their way of thinking, but my way of thinking is a little bit different from others. And if you don't see a lot of that collections out there, you can become a little intimidated, like, wow, they don't think like I think. Is this right or is it wrong? But it's not wrong. All voices need to be heard regardless of your background and your culture. So that's why Not in Knowledge and Sacred Thoughts was produced.
Okay. And that's right. And that is one of the reasons why I believe we have a lot of reluctant readers in the African American community as well as Latino.
Yes.
Because their perspective
is not out there.
Not out there. Okay. Do you have any other books coming out soon?
Yes, matter of fact, I have Echoes of the Soul. It'll be coming out in late June. And this particular collection is an inspirational spiritual collection. It's like a coming out, revisitation, revelation of different experiences to the soul.
To the soul.
To the soul.
Wow.
Yes, and it goes deep, but it's not so deep that it'll make you feel Oh my God, did she just write that? No. But it is deep enough to make you reflect on your journey through life, because we're not just human beings, we're spiritual beings too.
Well, that's something that we talk about a lot here on Pharaoh's Chamber, so
Yes.
we will certainly have to have you back after you
Oh,
finish
yes.
that book.
I would love to come and talk about the echoes of my soul.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Where can people find information on you or your book?
Okay, yes. You can purchase Sacred Thoughts or Knotted Knowledge on Amazon.com, or you can go to www.createspace.com/5201854. Or you can also go to my website, www.proactivepublishing.net. That's www.proactivepublishing.net.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we certainly thank you for coming to Pharaoh's Chamber. Anything else you would like to tell?
No, I'm just delighted to have the opportunity to come share with Pharaoh's Chambers today, and much obliged that you've given us opportunity as minority writers and poets to have an avenue or a venue to share our literature with. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Again, we're here with Erica L. Kennard, writer, poet, educator,
Educator, yes.
librarian,